Well, as we mentioned, hundreds of Knox County voters had to cast ballots in the dark. At least 2 polling locations were without power until just recently because of those severe storms. WBIR 10 News reporter Yvonne Thomas is live in Knox County with a closer look at how they fix those issues and how the voters are coping. Yvonne?
Leslie, good afternoon, and that's exactly right. What an unpredictable morning that voters have had so far. Here at Shoreline Church, power is now restored, but several voters were actually casting their ballots in the dark with pencil and paper. But despite the inconvenience, those voters told us getting out to vote was worth it. Downed trees and power lines made this record-breaking midterm election even more memorable for some on Election Day.
Folks downtown at the Election Commission, they're going crazy, but they're getting the job done.
According to Cliff Rogers, administrator of elections with Knox County, a total of 9 polling precincts had power issues Tuesday morning. Voters at Shoreline Church and Bluegrass Elementary were without power for hours. Weathering the storm, hundreds of voters like Grace Bishop came to Shoreline Church, voting with pencil and paper ballots.
It's easy.
And how long did it take you to get through the lines?
Not long, maybe less than 10 minutes.
And just down the road, Bluegrass Elementary used their backup system to power voting machines.
It's good. I mean, the batteries work on the machines. You can see clear. And everybody, after they got their coffee, is happy.
But despite the stormy weather, these voters are going the extra mile.
We're here, we're going to vote.
Is that important, huh?
Yes, it is.
To make sure their choice at the poll counts. And here at Shoreline, more than 130 voters got out and cast their ballots in the dark with pencil and paper. Now, voting does not end until 8 p.m. tonight, so if you do want to go and vote, again, all polling precincts in Knox County are with power, and so this shouldn't be a problem going forward. But for now, we'll send things back over to you.